Hello everybody, it's everyone's favourite feisty fan, Xephas Gracepaws here. If you're new around here, please subscribe and ring that bell for more furry fandom related content. Also want to join my Discord community, link in the description. Now today I'm going to talk about something that I think is pretty important for just about everybody in the fandom, but especially for Newfurs. Now in the last episode of Newfurs 101 we looked at, how you can get yourself a fursuit and various people that can make one for you, and this episode quite honestly is a little bit polarising in terms of the opinion, in that you don't need a fursuit. Now obviously I know that I've just done a whole video on how to get a fursuit, but you don't need one, and I'm going to explain exactly why.
What did you just say? Everybody knows that you're not a real furry without a fursuit.
Whoa, hold it there, Safex. That's not true at all.
But.
No buts, now get out of here.
Meow 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 meow.
So yeah, despite what my evil twin Safex thinks, it's completely true. You don't need a fursuit to be a furry. And today I'm going to talk about this and explain exactly why. So being a furry is as simple as calling yourself a furry. Honestly, that's it really. Furries like to wear fursuits as a way of representing their persona, but it's by no means required. Some furries like to wear ears or a tail, or sometimes not even that. Some furries don't dress up as their character at all, and that's fine too. Now let's look at some of the common misconceptions regarding fursuits in the fandom. People will think badly about me if I don't have a fursuit. This is just completely untrue. The furry fandom is really open, accepting, and friendly to just about everyone. Now, I'm sure there are some elitists in the fandom who are like, you're not a real furry unless you have a fursuit. But generally, the vast majority of furries in the fandom understand that fursuits are expensive and not everybody can afford one, and sometimes not everybody wants one. And ultimately, it's about who you are, not what you have. Furry conventions are only for people who have fursuits. Now, I've never been to a furry convention myself, but I know people who have, and I do have some knowledge regarding this. The majority of furries who attend furry conventions do have fursuits, and admittedly, furry conventions tend to cater more towards the people who have suits, with events such as dance-offs and parades, and awards for best fursuit, things like that. But nobody's going to judge you for going to a furry convention without a suit. You're as much a furry as someone with a suit, you're just there to have fun like them. I'm not a real furry without a fursuit. So this is something that I've seen a lot, asked mostly by newer furries, and I'd like to reiterate the point that I made at the start of the video. You can still be a furry without a fursuit. A fursuit's a luxury and is something that ultimately you don't need. It's expensive, and for that reason a lot of furries don't have them. For example, I don't own a fursuit. I'd like one, but they're expensive. Worth the money, of course, because a lot of time and effort goes into them, but it's expensive. One day I might get one, but I don't feel as though not having a suit makes me any less of a furry. I feel as though I'm as much a part of the fandom as anyone else. So this is a bit of a shorter video this week, but I still think it's pretty important and something that needs to be said. There are a lot of elitist people in the fandom that believe you can't be a furry without a fursuit, and there are a lot of people who believe otherwise, but I think unfortunately the voices of the people who believe that you need a fursuit to be part of the fandom outweigh those who agree with the fact that you don't need a fursuit. I mean, I personally fully believe that anyone can be a furry regardless of whether you have a fursona, regardless of whether you have art, or whether you have a fursuit. Just because you don't want or can't afford something, it doesn't mean that you should be excluded from any group, especially the furry fandom. So there we go, there's a bit of a shorter one this week, but thank you all for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that it's helped, especially if you're new to the fandom. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.